Hi guys, this is Jacob from JTech, and this is a C++ beginners programming tutorial. Uh, I'm using an editor called Dev C++. We can just go and Google Dev C++, and it should be Bloodshed software. Just download it. It'll bring you to the SourceForge link, which is right here, or you just click on this. Just page that down. Okay, so you're gonna go to File, New, Project, Console Application, and just name it. I'm gonna name it YouTube Beginners 1. It's going to be a C++ project, not a C project. And I'm going to save this in a folder that I made called Programming. I think I've made some other tutorials. So what you can do is you can delete all this. I haven't programmed in a while, so this is a little refresher for me too. I'm trying to get back into it, but the contents of a C++ file have a basic layout, which is kind of like a frame. And I'll show you what those are. I'll explain this in a minute. So, what this is, actually, I'm put a command in here. Okay, go away. Alright, so this part, the beginning part, is including libraries so we can use certain commands. The IO stream is the input-output stream, which lets us use commands like cout, which lets us put stuff on the screen, cin, which lets us put stuff in, and a lot of other things. String basically just makes us use log and make strings like to store in, to output, and that will be used in later tutorials or even maybe this tutorial. So using namespace std basically means that we don't have to put std : in front of most everything. I don't think I've ever done that, so I don't even know how to do it. I've always used using namespace std. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's just easier. I think I've only seen one person not do that, and I don't know their reasoning. The int main part, which basically means initialize the main function, and then these basically means there's no parameters to it, and in between the curly brackets is the main function, and it tells the system to pause. The system is basically the console. So what happens in the console when I say pause, it'll say press any key to continue. So it should do the same here. Just so you know, every command like this, since this shouldn't be in the main function, you want this to be happening. All the functions you have, you put it up here. Every command you have should have a semicolon. The only reason these don't are because these are includes and these are initializing functions, which are between brackets. And if you do that, you can put one there, but it does not matter. I don't usually. So we'll compile and run this. It'll ask you to save. It'll ask you to save your main.cpp, which is basically your main C++ file that will contain most of your code for beginners, anyways. When you're ready, you'll move on to having mini libraries that you've made yourself. Okay, so it runs, and it says press any key to continue, like we thought. And if we didn't have this, watch what happens. It just flashes because it completes the code. It initializes the main. Nothing is in the main. It exits the main, and it's done. So I'm going to show you how to, I guess, make a variable, which I usually use strings for that. Put in a variable, and then output the variable back. So outputting is the command cout. These two arrows mean it's going out on the screen. and in between the quotes is what's actually getting putting out. And then we'll do another endl, or another arrows, which means it's going out of the screen, and then an endl. Or you could just do nn, which means new line, new line. Sometimes actually I like to do that better. It's more easy, I think, and I think it came from C. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say cin into the console. Let's say name, and then semicolon. But we don't have the variable name, so we're gonna say string name equals. It doesn't have to equal anything because we're gonna put it in there. So basically what we're going to do, and if I did this correctly, we're going to print out on the screen, please insert your name, cin name, which means actually insert it, and when they press enter, nothing will happen. It'll do a system pause. Okay, let's compile and run this. So I'm going to take these new lines off. When we're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to explain this again. This actually might screw up because I think these are one of the wild cards. I have no idea, but it's going to say, please insert your name. You insert your name, and it's going to put out on the screen. It's going to say hello, and then it's going to say the name, and then it's going to give it a new line with an exclamation point on the same line of the name. These arrows basically just mean it's going to go out to a file on this side, and this side would be the console. This side would be the what you're getting into the console. It's a bit confusing at first. You know, I always forget these when I'm not used to coding, but okay. So, and notice I didn't put in a new line here because I want it to be on the same line like a console. Please enter your name, Jacob, and I'll say hello, Jacob, and then press any key to continue because it's pausing. You can do other system commands like directory, and then so what this will do is you can insert your name, blah 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 blah, and then it'll show the contents of the directory that you're in. And the root directory of this would be where the main.cpp is. If you don't know that, I suggest you go and learn a little bit about Linux, which helps you program a lot. Jacob. It'll say hello Jacob, and then it'll give me the directory contents. If you don't know what that is, just go to CMD and then type dir, and it'll give me the exact same output, but in a different directory. So this has just been a little beginning for you. Not really advanced. If you would like to see a lot more advanced, or would like me to go back over some things, just send me a message on YouTube or email me. Actually, I prefer you send me a message. Comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll see you guys later.